First contact and defiance. The massive hologram flickered above every major city on Earth, its purple-tinged light casting eerie shadows across millions of upturned faces. High Admiral Vexthor of the Kraxan Empire stood 15 stories tall in these projections, his crystalline exoskeleton gleaming as he delivered his ultimatum to humanity. People of Earth, his translated voice boomed across the planet. For 10,000 years, the Kraxan Empire has brought order and prosperity to the galaxy. Your civilization has been monitored since you first split the atom. The time has come for your integration into our perfect society. Submit within one planetary rotation, or face immediate pacification. In the United Earth Defense Command Center beneath the Himalayas, General Sarah Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching the transmission with narrow eyes. Around her, the command staff worked with practiced efficiency, analyzing every detail of the massive fleet that had appeared at the edge of the solar system. "They're running quantum encryption we've never seen before," reported Commander James Rodriguez, his fingers flying across holographic displays. "But the energy readings from their ships, there's something odd about them." Sarah nodded, her mind racing. Humanity had prepared for this moment for decades, ever since the first hints of alien civilization had been detected. But the reality of first contact being an ultimatum from a galactic empire hadn't been high on anyone's list of scenarios. "What's the status of Project Helios?" she asked, turning to Dr. Maya Patel, the lead scientist of humanity's most classified weapons program. Maya looked up from her tablet, her dark eyes bright with excitement, despite the gravity of the situation. "The prototype is ready, General. We've solved the plasma containment issues. The Helios core is stable." A ghost of a smile crossed Sarah's face. The Kraxan Empire had ruled for 10 millennia through technological superiority and overwhelming force. But they'd never encountered human ingenuity before. "Get me a secure line to all UED facilities," she ordered. "And someone wake up the president." 12 hours later, Sarah stood in the Oval Office with the leaders of Earth's unified government. The holographic display showed the Kraxan fleet, over 3,000 ships arranged in perfect geometric formations. "They're not just advanced," Maya explained, pointing to energy readings. "Their entire civilization is built on crystalline technology, highly efficient, but rigid," Sarah finished. "Standardized. They haven't had to innovate in thousands of years because no one could challenge them." President Carmen Rivera leaned forward, her weathered face grave. "And you believe this Project Helios can give us a fighting chance?" "More than a chance, Madam President." Sarah activated another hologram, showing schematics for humanity's secret weapon. "The Helios core doesn't just match their level of technology, it surpasses it. We've developed something they've never seen before. By combining quantum mechanics with plasma physics in ways they never imagined," Maya added, "their crystalline systems are vulnerable to our specific frequency of disruption. One shot from a Helios cannon could disable an entire Kraxan capital ship." The president studied the faces around her. "The people of Earth didn't unify and reach for the stars just to submit to the first empire that came calling," she said finally. "General Chen, you have authorization to proceed. Show them humanity's answer." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Around the world, hidden facilities activated. Massive hangar doors opened in remote mountain ranges and beneath oceans. The UED's first line of defense emerged, ships that had been built in secret over decades, each now being equipped with Helios technology. As the Empire's deadline approached, Sarah stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, humanity's first supercarrier. At nearly 2 kilometers long, it was a triumph of human engineering and determination. More importantly, it carried enough Helios cores to challenge the entire Kraxan fleet. "All ships report ready, General," Rodriguez announced from his tactical station. The combined UED fleet of 300 ships seemed pitiful compared to the Empire's armada, but Sarah knew they had surprise on their side. "Open a channel to the Kraxan flagship," she ordered. "Let's give them our answer." High Admiral Vexthor's hologram appeared, his crystalline features arranged in what passed for amusement among his kind. "Have you come to deliver Earth's submission?" Sarah stood tall, her uniform crisp and perfect. "Admiral, I'm General Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. On behalf of humanity, I'm here to deliver our response to your ultimatum." She paused, allowing herself a small smile. "The answer is no." "Then you choose extinction," Vexthor declared. "Your primitive ships cannot hope to." "You've ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years," Sarah interrupted. "In that time, humanity went from horse-drawn carts to quantum physics. We split the atom, mapped our own genome, and reached for the stars. We did in centuries what took you millennia." Her voice hardened. "And we're just getting started." She gave the signal. Across the UED fleet, Helios cores hummed to life. The Kraxan Empire was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating human determination and creativity. "All ships," Sarah commanded, her voice steady. "Battle formations. Show them what humanity can do." The battle for Earth was about to begin, and with it, the first challenge to the Kraxan Empire's 10,000-year reign. Humanity would either earn its place among the stars or go down fighting. Either way, the galaxy would never be the same. Project Dawn Star. The void between Earth and Mars erupted in blinding light as the first Kraxan warships opened fire. Their crystalline weapons released lances of purple energy that could shear through conventional armor like paper. But the UES Prometheus was anything but conventional. Helios shields holding at 90%. Commander Rodriguez reported, his voice tight but controlled. Around him, the bridge crew worked with practiced precision, the product of countless simulation drills now put to the ultimate test. General Chen watched as the tactical display showed the Kraxan fleet splitting into their standard attack formation, a testament to their millennia of unchanged military doctrine. "Just as predicted," she muttered. "Maya, are you seeing this?" Dr. Patel's voice came through clear on the comm channel from her position in the Helios Core control room. "Confirmed, General. Their crystalline matrices are generating exactly the frequency patterns we anticipated. The Empire really hasn't innovated in thousands of years." The Kraxan High Admiral's voice boomed across all channels, dripping with contempt. "Your resistance is futile. Our smallest destroyer could obliterate your entire primitive fleet. Surrender now, and we may yet show mercy." Sarah's response was action rather than words. "All ships, execute Pattern Omega. Strike packages on my mark." The human fleet moved with choreographed grace, breaking into smaller task forces that seemed to scatter randomly. To the Kraxan tactical computers, it would appear as disorganization, prey fleeing before predators. That was exactly what Sarah wanted them to think. "They're taking the bait," Rodriguez announced as the massive Kraxan ships began pursuing the apparently fleeing human vessels. "Capital ships are splitting up to chase our task forces." Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. "Spring the trap. All ships, activate Helios cores." Throughout the human fleet, the revolutionary quantum plasma hybrid cores spun up to full power. The energy they generated wasn't just powerful, it was specifically tuned to interact with the crystalline technology that formed the backbone of Kraxan civilization. The first Helios beam lanced out from the Prometheus, striking a Kraxan cruiser dead center. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the purple energy field surrounding the alien vessel flickered and died. Its crystalline weapon systems grew dark, and its engines sputtered to a halt. Direct hit. Maya's excitement was palpable. Their systems are completely disrupted. The crystalline matrices are failing exactly as our simulations predicted. More Helios beams struck out from the human fleet, each finding their mark with devastating effect. Kraxan ships, some nearly the size of small moons, drifted powerless in space, their perfectly ordered crystalline systems thrown into chaos by humanity's innovative weapon. "Impossible." High Admiral Vexthor's voice had lost its smugness, replaced by genuine shock. "What sorcery is this?" "Not sorcery, Admiral," Sarah replied calmly. "Just good old human ingenuity. You've relied on the same technology for 10,000 years. We've learned to think differently. The battle was far from over. Even with their ships disabled, the Kraxan Empire's sheer numbers meant they could still overwhelm the human fleet. But that first exchange had changed everything. The myth of Kraxan invincibility had been shattered. Multiple enemy ships changing formation, Rodriguez reported. They're adapting their tactics, trying to find a way around the Helios effect. Sarah nodded. She'd expected this. Begin Phase 2. Deploy the quantum mines. Another human innovation was revealed as hundreds of seemingly innocent debris pieces suddenly activated. These quantum mines, based on the same principles as the Helios core, created localized disruption fields that forced Kraxan ships to either withdraw or risk complete systems failure. In the Helios core control room, Maya worked frantically with her team, monitoring the quantum interactions and making real-time adjustments. Their crystalline systems are attempting to reconfigure, she reported. They're learning, General. Faster than we anticipated. Good, Sarah replied, surprising her bridge crew. I was counting on it. Launch our virus package. This had been the riskiest part of their strategy. While the Helios beams kept the Kraxan fleet occupied, specialized infiltration programs had been probing their quantum communication networks. Now those programs activated, spreading through the crystalline computing systems like wildfire. The effect was immediate. Kraxan ships began firing on each other, their targeting systems corrupted by the human virus. Others simply shut down, their crystal cores going dark as safety protocols initiated emergency shutdowns. Status report, Sarah demanded, watching the chaos unfold. 40% of the enemy fleet is disabled or in disarray, Rodriguez answered. Another 30% are withdrawing to safe distance. The remaining 30%, he paused, checking his readings. They're maintaining position but not advancing. I think they're trying to purge our virus from their systems. Sarah knew this was their moment. The Kraxan Empire had never faced defeat in living memory. Even this partial setback would send shockwaves through their perfectly ordered society. Open a channel to Admiral Vex Thor, she ordered. When the alien commander's image appeared, she noted with satisfaction that his crystalline features were arranged in what she recognized as confusion and fear. You have a choice, Admiral, Sarah stated firmly. Withdraw your forces and acknowledge Earth's independence, or we can continue this demonstration of human capabilities. Either way, your empire's days of unchallenged dominance are over. The battle had been won, but Sarah knew the war was just beginning. The Kraxan Empire wouldn't take this humiliation lightly. They would adapt, learn, and return with new tactics. But humanity had shown they were ready. More importantly, they had shown the galaxy that the Empire wasn't invincible. As the remaining Kraxan ships retreated in disarray, Sarah turned to her crew. Well done, everyone. But don't celebrate yet. This was just the first round. They'll be back, and next time, they'll be ready for the Helios core. Maya's voice came through the calm, thoughtful, but determined. Then we'll just have to come up with something new. That's what humans do best, isn't it? Sarah couldn't help but smile. The scientist was right. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't the Helios core or any single piece of technology. It was their ability to adapt, to innovate, to think differently. The Kraxan Empire had ruled through stagnant perfection. Humanity would challenge them with constant evolution. The battle for Earth was over, but the real war for the galaxy's future was just beginning. Empire's fury. 3 months after humanity's first victory, the Kraxan Empire revealed just how dangerous a wounded giant could be. The attack came not from the front, but from within. Deep in the Helios core control room aboard the Prometheus, Dr. Maya Patel stared at her readings in disbelief. General, we have a problem, she reported, her voice tight with concern. The crystalline signatures. They're changing. Sarah Chen leaned forward in her command chair, studying the tactical display where a new Kraxan fleet had just emerged from hyperspace. These ships looked different. their usual geometric perfection marred by organic-looking growths that pulsed with an inner light. "They've adapted," Sarah muttered. "Faster than we expected." Rodriguez, analysis. Commander Rodriguez's fingers flew across his console. The new configurations are unlike anything we've seen before. They're incorporating biological components into their crystalline matrix, our Helios disruption beams. He paused, checking the readings again. They're only having minimal effect. The Kraxan fleet moved with newfound aggression, their formation less rigid, more fluid. Purple energy beams lanced out, but now they curved and twisted in ways that defied physics, somehow seeking out weak points in the human ship's defenses. "All ships, evasive maneuvers," Sarah ordered as the first hits struck home. "Maya, talk to me. What are we dealing with?" Maya's voice was filled with equal parts frustration and fascination. "They've done something brilliant, General. They're using organic neural networks to create adaptive shields. The crystalline structure can now reconfigure itself in real time to resist our disruption frequencies." As if to emphasize her point, a Kraxan beam struck the Prometheus directly. The ship shuddered violently, and warning alarms blared across the bridge. "Helios shields at 40%. Rodriguez reported. "Whatever they're using, it's cutting through our defenses like they're not even there." Sarah's mind raced. The Kraxan Empire had done more than just adapt. They'd revolutionized their entire approach to warfare. After 10,000 years of stagnation, humanity's resistance had forced them to evolve. "Fall back to secondary positions," she ordered. "All ships, implement Protocol Omega. We need to buy time." As the human fleet retreated under heavy fire, Sarah opened a channel to the secret research facility hidden beneath the Martian surface. "Dr. Kane, please tell me Project Phoenix is ready." Dr. William Kane's hologram appeared on the bridge, his aged face creased with worry. "We're close, General, but we need more time. The quantum biological interface is still unstable." A massive explosion rocked the ship. "Cruiser Intrepid is gone," Rodriguez announced. 2 more ships reporting critical damage. Sarah made a decision. "Maya, prepare to transfer all Helios core data to the Martian facility. Dr. Kane, you have 1 hour. After that, there won't be a fleet left to save." She turned to her tactical officer. "Rodriguez, plot us a course straight through the heart of their fleet." "General." Rodriguez's surprise was evident. "That's suicide." "No," Sarah smiled grimly. "That's a distraction. While they're focused on us, our stealth ships will deliver Dr. Kane what he needs to complete Project Phoenix." Understanding dawned on Rodriguez's face as he input the coordinates. The Prometheus might not survive this battle, but they would give humanity a chance to strike back. "All hands," Sarah's voice echoed through the ship. "This is the General. In 10,000 years, no one has stood against the Kraxan Empire and survived. Today, we've done more than survive. We've forced them to change. Remember that. Every minute we hold them here is another minute Earth has to prepare. Now let's show them what humanity does best: survive against impossible odds." The Prometheus turned to face the oncoming Kraxan fleet, its engines flaring defiantly. Behind it, cloaked in experimental stealth fields, 3 small ships broke away, carrying precious cargo toward Mars. "Weapons free," Sarah commanded. "Target their flagship. If we're going down, we're taking some of them with us." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. The Prometheus, humanity's first supercarrier, charged into the heart of the enemy fleet, its Helios cores pushed beyond safe limits. The crystalline ships of the Empire swarmed around it like angry wasps, their bio-enhanced weapons tearing chunks from its armor. But for every hit the Prometheus took, it gave back tenfold. Maya's team worked frantically, constantly adjusting the Helios frequencies, finding brief windows where they could pierce the Empire's new defenses. Ship after ship fell dark, their hybrid systems overloaded by the desperate assault. "Hull breach on decks 5 through 8. Rodriguez reported as another hit rocked the bridge. "We can't take much more of this." Sarah held onto her chair as the ship shuddered. Status of the stealth vessels. They've cleared the combat zone, Maya reported. Dr. Kane reports package Phoenix is received and secure. A grim smile crossed Sarah's face. Then we've done our job. All hands, prepare for emergency quantum jump. Plot course for the dark side of Earth's moon. The Prometheus's quantum drive spun up, its power systems straining. Around it, the wreckage of both human and Kraxan ships drifted in the void, testament to the ferocity of the battle. As the ship prepared to jump, Sarah opened a channel to the Kraxan fleet. Admiral Vexthor, I know you're watching. Remember this day. Remember the humans didn't just survive your attack. We adapted. We evolved, just like you did. The next time we meet, the galaxy will see which species does it better. The Prometheus vanished in a flash of quantum energy, leaving behind a graveyard of ships and a changed empire. The Kraxan had won this battle, but they had been forced to abandon 10,000 years of tradition to do it. The real war was just beginning, and humanity had proven they would never go quietly into the night. In his secret facility beneath the Martian surface, Dr. Kane looked at the data streaming in from the battle. His team worked frantically, incorporating the new information into Project Phoenix. The Kraxan Empire thought they had dealt humanity a crushing blow. Soon, they would learn just how wrong they were. The next phase of the war was about to begin. And this time, humanity wouldn't just adapt. They would revolutionize the very nature of space warfare itself. Phoenix Rising. The Martian underground facility hummed with energy as Project Phoenix entered its final phase. Dr. William Kane stood before a massive window overlooking the experimental chamber, his reflection ghostly against the reinforced glass. Behind him, General Chen and Dr. Patel watched as streams of quantum-infused plasma danced around a central core. Beautiful, isn't it? Kane mused, his weathered face illuminated by the shifting lights. The Kraxan thought they were clever, combining biological systems with their crystals. But they're still thinking linearly. We're about to show them what true evolution looks like. The chamber contained humanity's answer to the Empire's adaptive technology, a hybrid system that merged quantum computing, plasma physics, and something entirely new, controlled artificial evolution. The Phoenix core doesn't just adapt, Maya explained, reviewing the latest data on her tablet. It evolves in real time, generating new defensive and offensive configurations faster than the enemy can respond. Each engagement makes it stronger. Sarah studied the swirling energies with cautious optimism. And you're sure you can control it? Kane's laugh was hollow. Control? No. Guide, perhaps. The beauty of the system is that it's unpredictable. The Kraxan's greatest weakness is their need for perfect order. Phoenix thrives on chaos. Alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Commander Rodriguez's voice came through the comm system. General, we've got multiple Kraxan signatures entering the system. Biggest fleet yet. They're headed straight for Mars. They must have detected our energy signature, Maya said, fingers flying across her console. The Phoenix core's quantum field is hard to mask. Sarah's expression hardened. Then it's time for a field test. How soon can we get Phoenix online? It's ready now, Kane replied, already moving to the control station. But I should warn you, once we activate it, there's no going back. The system will begin evolving immediately, and we can't predict exactly how it will manifest. Better unpredictable than dead, Sarah decided. Begin activation sequence. All hands to battle stations. The Phoenix core's activation transformed the damaged Prometheus. Quantum plasma conduits spread throughout the ship like artificial veins, pulsing with energy. The ship's hull rippled as nanoscale reconstructors rebuilt it at the molecular level, incorporating lessons learned from every previous battle. On the bridge, Sarah watched as new tactical displays materialized, showing combat data in ways human minds had never conceived before. The ship itself was becoming something new, not just a vessel, but a living weapon. Kraxan fleet entering weapons range, Rodriguez reported. Their biocrystal ships are different, more organic than before. They're still evolving. So are we, Sarah replied. Maya, status of the Phoenix systems. Operating beyond projected parameters, Maya's voice was filled with wonder. The core is generating battle solutions faster than our computers can analyze them. It's learning. The Kraxan fleet opened fire, their enhanced weapons streaking through space in impossible patterns. But where before such an attack would have devastated the human ships, now something extraordinary happened. The Prometheus's hull shifted, quantum fields bending space itself around the vessel. Enemy fire didn't just miss. It ceased to exist, consumed by micro-singularities that appeared and vanished in milliseconds. By all that's holy, Rodriguez whispered, the ship is predicting their attacks before they happen. Not predicting, Kane corrected, his eyes fixed on the quantum readings. It's calculating every possible attack pattern simultaneously and generating countermeasures for all of them. This isn't just combat. It's evolution accelerated to light speed. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. Signal the rest of the fleet. Begin the counterattack. The battle that followed defied conventional physics. The Prometheus moved like a living thing, its form fluid and ever-changing. Each Kraxan attack was met with a defense that seemed to violate natural law, while humanity's counterstrikes bypassed the enemy's adaptations as if they weren't even there. Their biocrystal systems are trying to adapt, Maya reported, but Phoenix is evolving faster. Every solution they generate, we've already moved past. The Kraxan fleet's perfect formation began to break apart as ship after ship went dark, their hybrid systems overwhelmed by weapons that changed form mid-flight. Some vessels simply vanished, pulled into quantum spaces their sensors couldn't comprehend. High Admiral Vexthor's voice crackled across the command channel, no longer smooth but fragmented with static. What are you? This defies all natural law. That's humanity's secret, Admiral. Sarah replied calmly. We don't just adapt to natural laws. We rewrite them. Your empire spent 10,000 years perfecting a single system. We spent our history learning to throw out systems that don't work and create new ones. The battle reached its crescendo as the Phoenix core achieved what Kane called quantum singularity, a state where the ship's evolution exceeded the speed of thought. The Prometheus became a blur of possibility, existing in multiple states simultaneously, its weapons striking from angles that shouldn't exist. The mighty Kraxan fleet, terror of 1,000 worlds, broke and fled. Their biocrystal ships, already transformed beyond recognition, retreated into hyperspace, leaving behind a graveyard of twisted metal and shattered crystals. But victory had come at a price. As the quantum energies settled, Sarah noticed something strange about the tactical displays. The Phoenix core wasn't shutting down. It was still evolving. Dr. Kane, she called out, why are we still seeing system changes? Kane's expression was both thrilled and terrified. Because, General, we haven't just created a weapon. We've created something that transcends our understanding of technology itself. The Phoenix core isn't just adapting to the enemy anymore. It's adapting to existence itself. As if to emphasize his point, new systems spontaneously generated throughout the ship, serving functions human science hadn't even imagined yet. The Prometheus wasn't just a ship anymore. It was becoming something else entirely. What have we created? Maya whispered, watching as equations she'd helped write evolved beyond her comprehension. The next step, Kane replied simply. The question now isn't whether we can defeat the Kraxan Empire. It's whether we can control what we've unleashed in the process. Sarah stared out at the battlefield, where reality itself seemed to ripple in the wake of their victory. Humanity had created something revolutionary, but as with all revolutions, the end result remained uncertain. The war for the galaxy had just entered a phase no one, human or Kraxan, could have predicted. The next battle wouldn't just be for territory or supremacy, it would be for the very nature of reality itself. Transcendence. The Kraxan homeworld hung in space like a perfect crystal, its cities arranged in mathematical patterns visible from orbit. But the fleet that approached wasn't the ordered formation of Empire ships. It was a swirling, shifting mass of possibility, centered around what had once been the UES Prometheus. General Sarah Chen barely recognized her own ship anymore. The Phoenix Corps had transformed it into something that existed partially outside normal spacetime, its hull rippling with quantum possibilities. The bridge itself shifted constantly, reforming around the crew in response to their thoughts and needs. The Empires gathered everything they have. Commander Rodriguez reported, his station morphing to display tactical data in 4 dimensions. Over 10,000 ships. They've completely abandoned their traditional crystalline architecture. Every vessel is a unique biocrystal hybrid. Dr. Maya Patel's voice came through the quantum-enhanced comm system, her words accompanied by streams of data that flowed directly into their consciousness. They're desperate. Their entire society is based on perfect order, and we force them to embrace chaos. The strain is tearing their civilization apart. Sarah watched the enemy fleet through sensors that showed not just physical reality, but quantum probability itself. The Kraxan ships writhed with forced evolution, their crews pushing their hybrid technology to its limits and beyond. Dr. Kane. She called out to the quantum physicist, who now existed as much in the ship's systems as in physical form. What's your assessment? Kane's response came not in words, but in pure information, showing the cascade of possibilities spreading out from this moment. They've achieved their maximum potential evolution, he translated for those still thinking in linear terms, but they're still bound by their need for control. They can't take the final step. The Phoenix Corps pulsed, sending ripples through reality. In the months since its activation, it had transformed not just the Prometheus, but human understanding of existence itself. Every battle had pushed its evolution further, until the line between technology and life, between matter and energy, had blurred beyond recognition. "They're hailing us," Rodriguez announced. The holographic display materialized, showing High Admiral Vexthor. The once pristine crystalline being had changed dramatically. Bioorganic components pulsed beneath his translucent surface, and his form shifted constantly, trying to match the human ship's level of evolution. "You've destroyed everything." Vexthor's voice resonated on multiple frequencies. 10,000 years of perfect order, reduced to chaos. Our society is fracturing. Colonies are declaring independence. The Empire is dying. "No," Sarah corrected, her voice firm. "We didn't destroy your empire. We showed it how to live. Change isn't destruction. It's growth. Evolution isn't chaos. It's freedom." Freedom. Vexthor spat the word like a curse. "Look at what you've become. Your ship violates every law of physics. Your crew merges with machines. You're not even fully human anymore." Sarah smiled, and for a moment her form shifted, showing the quantum possibilities that existed within every human soul. "That's where you're wrong, Admiral. This is what humanity has always been. Creatures of constant change, endless adaptation. We're not losing our humanity. We're expressing it in its purest form." The Phoenix Corps surged, and with it, reality rippled. The Prometheus existed simultaneously in multiple states, its weapons already firing in some quantum possibilities, its defenses already victorious in others. "Last chance, Admiral," Sarah offered. "End this war. Let your people choose their own path of evolution, or face what we've become." Vexthor's response was to open fire with weapons that bent space itself. The Kraxan fleet attacked with desperate fury, their biocrystal ships pushing beyond their design limits, trying to match the Prometheus's level of transformation. But they were still trying to control evolution, to direct it according to plan. The Phoenix Corps had taught humanity a different lesson. True evolution meant surrendering to change while maintaining your essential nature. The battle that followed transcended traditional combat. The Prometheus didn't just fire weapons, it rewrote local physics. It didn't just dodge attacks, It shifted through quantum states where the attacks never existed. The Phoenix core had evolved beyond the need for traditional victory. It sought transformation. As the battle reached its peak, something extraordinary happened. The quantum field generated by the Phoenix core began to resonate with the biocrystal ships of the Empire. Their forced evolution suddenly found a natural path, guided by the core's example. "They're changing," Maya observed with wonder. "Not just their ships, their entire civilization. The quantum field is showing them possibilities they never imagined." Across the Kraxan fleet, ships began to transform not through forced engineering, but through genuine evolution. The rigid crystalline patterns that had defined their society for millennia dissolved, replaced by organic, flowing forms that embraced change rather than fighting it. High Admiral Vexthor watched in horror and fascination as his flagship underwent the same transformation. What are you doing to us?" "Nothing," Sarah replied softly. "We're just showing you what you could become if you stop fighting change and learn to grow with it." The Phoenix core's influence spread like a wave through the Empire's fleet, then to the crystal cities below. 10,000 years of rigid order blossomed into infinite possibility. Kraxan society didn't collapse, it transcended. As the transformation swept through their civilization, something unprecedented occurred. The quantum field generated by the Phoenix core had created a bridge, not just between states of matter, but between states of being. Humanity and the Kraxan found themselves evolving along parallel paths, each maintaining their unique identity while sharing in a greater transformation. "They're laying down their weapons," Rodriguez reported, though such physical concern seemed almost quaint now. "The entire empire. They're choosing to evolve." Sarah stood on her ever-shifting bridge, watching as both humanity and their former enemies took their first steps into a new stage of existence. The war was over, not through destruction, but through transcendence. "Dr. Kane," she called out to the scientist who had helped unleash this change. "What happens now?" Kane's response came as a quantum probability map showing infinite possibilities spreading out before them. Now we explore what it truly means to be human, or Kraxan, in a universe where the only constant is change itself. The Phoenix core pulsed one final time, not as a weapon, but as a beacon, calling both species toward a future where evolution wasn't a means of warfare, but a path to understanding. Humanity had not just survived their encounter with the Empire. They had transformed it, and themselves, into something greater. Above the crystal world that would never again be bound by rigid order, the ship that had once been the Prometheus became a symbol of what was possible when determination met innovation, when the human spirit faced the unknown, not with fear, but with wonder.